And welcome back, pregame.tv. Ken Thomson, solo last video for this week. We're going to look at an NFL game. Next week, Dave Koken will join me. We'll break down some games. We'll have 4 of them for you. And we will also film on Thursday. We're filming right now on Thursday afternoon prior to the opener, Green Bay at Seattle. Should be a good one to open tonight. And also a pretty good college game. Arizona, fresh off the route of UNLV. They are in San Antonio. Keep an eye on Larry Coker's team. 18 seniors starting that one for the Roadrunners. And they demolished Houston in the Cougars' new stadium opener, so it should be a pretty intriguing college game tonight. But the game I'm looking at as far as the NFL that I'm giving out for a free play here, the Jets and the Raiders. And got to see Derek Carr up close and personal in the Las Vegas Bowl last year when Fresno State took on Southern Cal. Fresno State without Derek Carr, we know how they fared against USC, giving up over 700 yards, getting thumped in week 1. But Derek Carr good enough to make it over there with the silver and black. This was a guy that they looked at. They wanted to exercise their number 1 pick with him, but they waited and they got him with their 2nd pick, and he could pay dividends. Did not think he was going to beat out Matt Schaub, who came over from Houston, but he does get the nod from Dennis Allen, the head coach, and we'll see if it pays off early. Going West Coast to East Coast, always trouble, but more trouble during the regular season once you're in the middle of the season instead of week 1. We'll see how it pans out and how much of an advantage it is for the New York Jets. For Rex Ryan's team, we know they're going to bring pressure on the rookie. There is no doubt. He's got some guys, too. Wilkerson, Richardson last year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Quentin Copples, Demario Davis, Pace and Harris, these linebackers, they're going to blitz a lot as well. You just know that. Now, the Jets are beat up as far as secondary-wise. Milner's going to miss this game, have to rely on Landry and Allen out of the safety positions to come. You're going to see some safety blitzes. You're going to see all different looks. But Derek Carr, a pretty cerebral quarterback. His brother David said he's light years ahead of where I was when I was taken by the Houston Texans. Also, you've got a couple veteran backs. If they can stay healthy, they could take some pressure off Derek Carr. Talking about McFadden. Again, this guy never stays healthy. And Mojo Drew coming over from Jacksonville in the offseason. Marcel Reese also very solid fullback, a fullback that has speed and has good hands out of the backfield. They'll look for him. And also newcomer James Jones coming over free agency-wise from the Green Bay Packers. He's a no-Cal kid out of San Jose State. And he will team up with Rod Streeter, Denarius Moore, Andre Holmes, and David Osbury, the tight end out of Southern Cal, to try and get Derek Carr some open looks. Meanwhile, as far as the Jets offensively, can Geno Smith put the ball on the money? Last year, not so much. 3,000 yards passing, 12 touchdowns, but 21 interceptions. That will not get it done. And if he does that, you'll see Michael Vick sooner than later. Eric Decker comes over from the Denver Broncos. That's a nice pickup. Nelson, Curley, Salas, pretty good receivers. No marquee names outside of Decker. Chris Ivory, Chris Johnson coming over as well. So you have a pretty decent running game. And I like this running game. I really think those two guys, I always liked Ivory when he was there in New Orleans, showed a lot of potential. And Bilal Powell is also still there. So a lot of depth there. Keep an eye on the youngster out of Texas Tech, Jason Morrow, the tight end. He could push Jeff Cumberland for the starting job. And also you'll see some double tight end sets there for the Jets. It should be a good one. We'll see if defense coordinator Dennis Thurman really has the Jets go after Derek Carr. I expect them to, and I expect this game to be very interesting. Again, the Raiders trying to stay in there and get a road victory. The Jets trying to start the season off and put some pressure on New England, something nobody's done in a long time. I like this game a lot, so I'm going to make it official right now. And the line's climbing. I got the Jets -4 up to 4.5, and you're starting to see some 5s pop up. Again, taping early Thursday, so you better get this game now. Otherwise, you're going to see 5, 5.5s. I think this game may actually close at 6. I know if Derek Carr takes care of the football, the Raiders can hang in there. Heck, they might even pull off a road victory. But I'm going to look at the Jets bringing pressure and Geno Smith being a lot more cerebral, taking care of the ball, not forcing it, getting used to playing at the NFL level. If he does that, takes care of the football, I think the Jets win this game by double digits. Again, Raiders, I think they're making some roster moves behind Reggie McKenzie to get this team back going in the right direction, but I still think they have a ways to go. Still a lot of old blood there. And when you look, and Charles Woodson now has moved to safety as one of your guys, you know he's getting up there in years. They still have some work to do as far as from the draft and free agency-wise in the near future. future. So that's going to be it. I'm going to take the Jets. I'm going to lay the points again. I laid 4. I'm seeing a few 4.5s, but a lot of 5s popping up. There's even a 5.5 already here on Thursday. So get it quickly if you like the Jets. And again, it's week 1. Don't go putting all your money into week 1. You got to kind of look at these games just like in college football. You want to look. Nobody thought Texas A&M was going in there and blowing the doors off South Carolina. So you don't want to put too many eggs in one basket. You want to do your homework, your due diligence, but then you also want to watch the games. And let's remember, the same team that played week 1 isn't going to be the same team all the time that plays week 2. There's different matchups, all that stuff, intangibles, as Jimmy the Creek used to call them. Those all come into consideration. You can check me out, Ken Thomson, SportsX Radio, Monday through Friday. I am on AM 720 KDWN here in Las Vegas, but also across the Yahoo Sports Radio network. You can go to yahoosportsradio.com/listen. You can listen live again 7 to 10 Pacific. Shows are also archived each and every night at sportsxradio.com or here at pregame.com. Jeff Scott, The Undertaker, does a great job, takes out the commercials. You can go back, and on the Friday night show, my partner Chuck Edel and I break down every single college and pro game in rotation order, little tidbits on everything, get you the injuries. Trust me, that show takes us about 10 hours just to prepare for, and we get it in there, and you can always go down and podcast it and listen to it before the games go off. So look at that. Also, folks, the world we're living in now is not the same world we've been living in when we were growing up, enjoying football, not worrying about anything. If you're going to some of these games, marquee matchups, doesn't even matter, any of these games, and you see anything that looks out of line with jokers like these idiots from ISIS, pay attention, because the world that we live in now is changing. We love sports. We love football. We love all our games, but we got to make sure that we keep everything going. And so we've got to do our due diligence as a nation to keep tabs, keep ourselves safe. We do that here in Las Vegas, and I know we also are on a hit list. So again, we are not going to let anybody intimidate us on how we live. But again, do your due diligence. Don't get complacent. This is why this is the greatest country in the world. It's going to do it for me, Ken Thomson. Again, it is pregame.tv. Dave Koken will join me next week. We'll have 4 more plays for you. Have an awesome NFL first week and enjoy the college week 2. Folks, till next week, Ken Thomson, pregame.tv. Have an awesome weekend.